Guys, most important part of the entire thing is the sales process, okay? So I'm gonna teach you how to go from all the way to the top of the funnel, which is engagement, all the way to the bottom of the funnel, which is payment, receiving payment, right? Guys, this is the most important part of the entire thing. If you don't have this down, you're kind of stupid. Of course, you need your freaking niche, you need your offer, you need clarity on what it is you're doing. But of course, after that, it's like, okay, Ashton, where do I start? Where am I going afterwards, all right? And that's engagement, right? So keep in mind, we're doing this all organically. This is in a process where you're just kind of getting started. You're going from literally nothing to 10K a month, okay? This is the best way to put it, is organically is what's gonna get you there. It's like, what are we posting? What are we wanting to attract? Is the clarity there? Our offers there? Now we need to make sure we're engaging with those kinds of people, right? So how are we gonna find leads if we're broke, Ashton? We gotta post content. Guys, if no one knows who we are, how are we gonna attract what we are? All right, we gotta attract what we wanna sell to. Sales is all a transfer of emotions, it's a transfer of energy. So I always tell people energy and engagement equals go find, attract, talk to them, get to know them, tell them happy birthday, send them a podcast, get to be their friend, ask 3 to 5 qualifying questions, which could be what? All right, so at this point, they're your friend, we're taking them to the DMs. Okay, you want some quick results faster? Get it in the DMs ASAP, right? And ask 5 qualifying questions, right? It's how much money do you have set at the side, and do you know you got to invest into something like this? Like, make sure they know, and say it in a manner of like, hey, I'm kind of beating around the bush, but you know, you got to pay for this. You know, that's the best way to put that. Now, at first, I need you guys to offer a lot of stuff for free. Okay, which I will make a video about that, okay? In the community, in your fulfillment side of things, you need to make sure you're having stuff to offer them, right? But in this case, let's just say we're a new coach and we have what we call CTAs, right? And that's gonna be nothing but story engagements. DM me scale, DM me coach, DM me this, right? And you can send them a recipe. You can send them a PDF file, a checklist, a Loom, just simple knowledge, right? Because there's 3 different ways we can go into the nurturing phase. You can do your DMs, which is the fastest way, right? Or you can do qualifying questions, DMs to qualifying questions, ask 3 to 5, and then at the end on that 3rd note, it needs to be a voiceover of you explaining like, hey man, so this is what I do, and I'll give you an example right here. I'm like, so hey, just to give you a little rundown, I'm Ashton, you know, I've been building Pivotal Edge Consulting the past 2 years. My job's pretty freaking simple. I'm nothing special. I'm just trying to see if this is a good fit for you. Let's just say in a perfect world, I could make you 0 to 10K in 1 month. Would that be something you're interested in? I see you're making content, right? I see you have a business. How's that going for you? How are your people understanding and perceiving and receiving like, hey, this is what bro does, and this is what I can get out of him if I were to go with him. All right, so make it clear. Make your offer very clear. Make sure when we're in the DMs that we have an established name of like, hey, we look the part. That's why in the first videos that you guys seen before this, is like, I need to break down the bio. I need to make sure my profile picture's dope. I need to make sure it's stating what it is I do. I need to make sure my highlights. I need to make sure I have my client wins in there. I need to make sure I have my story. Guys, why do I tell my story? It's because it makes it more genuine. It's authentic. People can then feel that resignation with me, and then guess what? I have that natural pull, and I'm not going to have to go find the leads. Leads are going to find me. All right, so that's why when I wake up every morning, I literally will say, I don't work for money, money works for me. And that's when I push that energy into the universe, and I receive tenfold with what I want. All right, so remember, we're going from engagement, we're finding everybody we want, okay? And then we go into the nurturing, which is the middle of the funnel. All right, and there's 3 different ways you can do that. DMs is the fastest. Trust me, that's what I would do. I would DM them, ask them some qualifying questions while being their friend. So like, right, I'm giving them a gold nugget, and then I take a gold nugget. And then I'm asking my 3 to 5 questions of qualification, which is like, hey, do you have the money to invest in this? Hey, are you trying to be a creator? Dude, hey, what's working for you and what's not? Is it the sales process? I see you're already a coach, but what's not working? You know what I mean? Figure out what to ask them with what makes sense about what it is you're selling. all right, and what your offer is. And then you have a free value offer. This is where your CTAs will come through the stories, so you can do literally simple opt-in email options, where that could be Loom, it could be a little recipe, a PDF file, a checklist of like, hey, here's a blueprint on how to make a meal properly. Here's a blueprint on how to have a better relationship with your spouse. Whatever it may be, create that, send them a link, dial it in the story, boom, you're creating your own CRM, which we'll go into more of what to download when it comes to your customer relationship management, right? It's like just lead keep up, because guys, there will be a point where there's so much going on and you're not going to be able to handle it. So you're going to have operations running different things for you. Or at first, you know, you can pretty much manage everything on your own in your own systems, okay? And then my favorite, which is the school method, from DMs to, I kind of do a little bit of all this. So what I say is, like, honestly, try to do all this all at once. You really see success if you do that. If you want, you can pick 1 to 2 at least. I always prefer community and DMs, but dude, that free value offer is very crucial in your customer relationship management down the road, okay? Now, boom, we got them in. They're seeing it, dude. They're seeing the community through school. They're seeing everybody clock in with their meals. They're seeing the accountability. The fulfillment's there. We're hopping on group calls. We have Bible studies in the week. We have mindset masteries. Guys, everybody's having that shift, and it's awesome. They see it. You may have not sold them right here, right? Not everybody's going to book a call to Calendly, okay? But what happens is I can throw them in. Because guys, this is where repetitive business starts to come in, and then referrals turn into a bigger thing, right? So word of mouth becomes a thing. Everybody's seeing my name. They're in the school. They're seeing my notifications. They're seeing other people be active. It then humanizes the situation to where my natural pull is getting so magnetic, the universe is just going to bless me, right? And then guess what happens? You might not book the call then, but you might book the call in 3 months. You might book the call in a year. Guys, this is how rich coaches stay rich. And this is how broke coaches who just want to get rich quick fall fast. All right? So we're looking for long-term longevity when it comes to this stuff. We're not doing the get rich quick overnight. This is a forever thing, I like to call it. This ain't a one-time handshake, see you bye. Okay? Well, then we're going to go to Calendly, and then this is where our offer becomes more presentable, okay? Now it's just like, okay, Ashton, I have everything else. What needs to happen, and how do I literally close these people? So we booked the call. Okay, the first thing I do is I went to Canva. That's why I say utilize Canva, or if you're good at making PowerPoints, do that. I don't Google Docs, I don't care, all right? So make a presentation, all right? You need to tell them what to expect and what they need to act like in order for this to happen, right? So a good example is like a negative to a positive affirmation. Because dude, at first it feels cool, the vision hits, everything's there, we have the idea, we want to be a creator, we want to have our own business, we want to be our own online coach, but what happens? Real quick, we realize how hard it is. We're getting 0 follows, right? Nobody's understanding what we're doing, but our offer is very clear. Right? It's just got to keep the needle moving. And if you don't, guess what? You're going to fall on your face every time. You're going to do what I did, right? And I've been doing this for 5 years, but I've had 2 years of consistency because I've been going off track, on track, off. And I can't be a fence rider, guys. I got to stay down the middle and be consistent. And so save the time and stay consistent with this, because it's just one of those games that you need to stay consistent with. And you got to tell them, replicate the message. Like, hey, this isn't something that happens overnight. Okay, this is a thing that, like, I can take you to the water, all right, but I can't force you to drink. But what I will do is saddle you up, you know, brush you, shampoo and conditioner, and brush your teeth, and, like, you know, maybe you might just drink a couple sips. So that's the goal here. So let them know, nothing's guaranteed. Okay, what happens after that? You got to let them know what it is you offer. So now we need to listen. So you have your intro and you have your problem. We went over this in a call the other day. What's our problem? Their why, right? So what kind of pain do they just tell you about? They're going to work every day and they hate their life. They need to escape somehow. So guess what we're doing? We're bringing them a purpose into vision so they can just keep the tunnel on the vision. You feel me? So customer proof is going to be a slide too. We need customer testimonials. Okay, so after your presentation, which if you need help making this, I'll literally reach out and we'll freaking make one. Customer proof slide, I'm telling you, you just need stories, storytelling while you're on the close. Just show some customers. I'm telling you, it humanizes it. They see the professionalism, and I'll show you how to make it look sharp and pretty. All right, show them onboarding, show them, hey, this is exactly how it works and your why on why you started your service. And of course, collect your payment. Say, hey, does that everything sound fair? And guys, before this, I promise you, you'll be receiving payment. Everything will be tagged in the way you want it. Just make sure you keep this funnel word for word. Guys, if you have any questions, just reach out to me. We'll talk more into it. But as of now, I feel like that's a really good video.